Hi, everyone. It's Dr. Brown here again. So a couple of days ago, I posted on the idea of hyperinflation inside of games. And in the intervening period, something kind of interesting happened. In that time, a Russian bot started posting against a bunch of things because today the Russian stock exchange technically somewhat kind of opened, and I'll get more into that. But the statement of this bot was, how can we say that the Russian economy is doing so poor when the stock market went up 10% today, and by the end of it, it was up by 4%. 4% is such a high amount of growth. Okay, well, Russian bot, let's go through. Okay, so here I have up the Moscow index on Google Scholar. So you can just find this by basically putting in the MCX and then the following. So this is the Russian index. This is basically the entire Russian stock market, the main kind of top people inside of it. And if you had basically a basket of those. And up here at the top, you can also see the Dow Jones Industrial Average, the S&P 500, the NASDAQ. Here in Canada, we have the TSX. And this is basically Russia's version of this. Okay, so that's incredibly impressive. It went up 4% today on opening. In fact, it went all the way up 10%, and this would be absolutely remarkable. So you can see here today that the TSX, it only went up, less than what, a percentage point, like a bit. And here the Dow Jones went up 1%. Wow, Russia must be really booming today. There's an old idea inside of economics, which is known as cerebus paribus, which is holding all things equal. You take a look at something. Okay, so holding everything else equal, yes, this number is cerebus paribus better than that number. There's a problem with this though. Okay, so yes, did it go up 10% at the start of the day? Yes. Did it maintain that until it was closed at noon for some reason? Yes, it basically went up and then went down to 4%. So you lost 6% today if you bought in at the morning. Okay, so a few things in this chart. First of all, why did it go up this 10% here right off the bat? What happened? Well, the government came in and bought a whole bunch of stuff and bailed out a bunch of stuff. This is then people basically selling out and getting the hell out. Well, why would they want to come out if, there's all of this? And why is the government buying into this and putting it in? Because this is not really a free market at this point. It's not. So first of all, about 30% of this market is owned by foreigners. Foreigners are presently not allowed to even sell. So this is not really even, this is basically the domestic market going, oh, the government gave us this money, I will take it, and leaving the market in terms of this. Okay, next, this market was closed for a considerable amount of time. In fact, if we go back to the 5-day, look at that. Oh, what happened here? Well, something kind of interesting happened because this is today, but this is from like a week ago. If we go back 1 month, wow, look, today, wow, we had this huge jump. 6 months, what happened here? Okay, so this was basically the start of the special military invasion into the Ukraine, whatever the hell they're calling it now, the war. That's where the war hit. Okay, so bye-bye. Bye-bye economy. Then here we had it basically closed. Yeah, let's put a complete stop on trading, and it stopped trading through this entire period. In which point, nobody can move money in or out of this market. And it just maintained that. Wow, and then it had this jump up. Okay, so really what we're talking about is we had this huge drop from here down to here, and then, we had a small tick up today, which happens to be about, 4% by the end of the day, but it's lost this intervening period. Okay, so what would happen if you bought in at the low and up into the high? Isn't that wonderful? You somehow, you timed the market perfectly. You were one of the guys that knew that this was going to happen, and then the next day it went down, and then here you got out. Okay, maybe some people are doing that. Maybe people that know that like a war is about to happen are doing that. Okay, so wow, isn't it great? You just made what, 4% today. Bit of a problem. Bit of a problem with that because also the ruble just dropped about 50%. Yeah, that's a bit of a problem. So this has to do with real rate of return. Now, the majority of world economies try to maintain an inflation rate at about 2%. That's considered enough to cover up growth there. Okay, so if the TSX, let's go to the TSX for a second. If we go to the TSX composite, we go back a year, we can see that the TSX in about a year gained about 17%. Okay, so that's really, if Canada keeps it at where they believe it to be, about a 2% inflation rate is where they want it, and it's not that right now. It's actually a little bit higher. But if we subtract that 2% inflation off of this over the course of the year, we're up 15%. That's a pretty good return. So if you just went out and you bought everything in the TSX Competence Index, you would be up 15% over the year. If we go to the year to date, you can see it's about 3%. Okay, Dow Jones. Dow Jones, if we go back a year, we can see, oh, wow, 6%. Okay, so again, US tries to keep their inflationary rate at about that. Let's go back a couple. Okay, so here's MOEX. Let's look at a year. Oh, shoot, we're down 25%. Plus inflation. Inflation right now, they're calculating at about 55%. So if you bought in a year ago, you have just lost 75% of your value. Okay, so dear Russian bot, my apologies, but gaining even 10% today or 4%, well, Cerebus paribus, yeah, looks good. In actuality, that's not a great chart to have. Okay. Bye.